In the 14 years I've been keeping bees, I've gone through a lot of equipment. I've had it rust, break, crack, snap. But every once in a while, I come across something that's just made well, lasts a while, and makes beekeeping, I don't want to say easier, but you forget about the tools and you can focus on what you're really there to do, which is keep bees. So this is my favorite beekeeping gear that I've come across over the years. And I don't have stuff for every category, but I do for feeders, gloves, suits, smokers, things to make beekeeping easier on the back, supplements, things to make treating easier, my favorite treatments, to help you guys out. Now, if the manufacturer gave me a coupon code, it is going to be below and also in the video description. The first thing I want to talk about is protective gear, my favorite suit, gloves, and veil. Ideally, we want to forget that we have gloves on, or that's my goal. These are from Apis Tactical. This is the small size, and it fits my hands great. It has this breathable mesh on the top, but the most important thing is that it does not come up to your elbow. And so it is not one more thing making you sweat a ton when it is hot out. You can make the wrist part nice and tight to prevent bees from going in. These are always my go-to gloves. Now on to my favorite suit. It is actually by the same company as the gloves, Apis Tactical. This suit is great. For one, I mean, I'm never gonna wear a beekeeping suit, for fashion, but this suit actually has a crotch that does not come halfway down my thighs, which I very much so appreciate. There are tons of great pockets on the arms, on the chest, down below, hive tool pockets, but these pockets are at an angle, which really makes it easier to just get something from inside than when they are down like this, especially when you're wearing those heavier beekeeping gloves. The pockets are ventilated, but my favorite pocket are these here on the side. Now you have a zipper pocket to store something, but then you have a second zipper, and that is to get into your bee suit, because if you forget your pen still in your pocket, instead of having to undo the full veil and stuff, you can just open up the zipper and then it closes back up before bees get back inside. There are also a couple of very small pockets inside, and that is for putting a magnet in so that you can easily just attach your hive tool to that magnet and you don't even have to put it in the pocket. This suit is just really well made. It has the Velcro on the wrists and the ankles to further keep bees from getting into your suit. When I don't want all of that protection, my go-to is this veil. It is called the square tie-down veil from Better Bee, and it is sold separately, but they also sell the plastic white helmet. I like this veil because this mesh is very strong. It lasts a long time. It is very lightweight. It has these elastic that go under the arms. And the way that these work to tie it down is a little bit easier than some of the other ones just have a piece right here. And so it's just a larger gap that bees can get inside. As far as honey harvesting equipment is concerned, I have yet to find an extractor that I really loved. I did really enjoy working with these simple comb containers. I like that you can use your own frames, so you're really buying just this lightweight piece of plastic, and you do not have to cut anything. You don't have to seal the containers up once you've harvested because the bees have sealed it up in the beeswax. The simple comb containers are designed to take the labor and sticky mess out of the process of harvesting comb honey. The bees do the packing right in the hive, so you take them out, flip the lid, and you're ready to sell it or share with friends. Doesn't matter how strong you are, how good of health you are, it's always great to not have to work so hard and pick up heavy stuff if we can avoid it. These handles, these are made by Be Smart, and these handles have been actually really great. I have them on some of my supers, and they make lifting the box a lot easier. Another great product if you have trouble lifting up those heavy honey supers is to convert over to the keeper's hive. I have a single queen keeper's hive out in my bee yard. It's currently wrapped in roofing paper, so we're not going to go out there and open it up, but it is really nice to be able to just pull up a stool and sit next to your beehive and casually inspect frames without having to lift off the second deep box and without having heavy honey supers. There is just one deep box and it only holds 8 frames for the brood, and so you have to use the demery method if you are not splitting the hive and you want to prevent swarming. Inspections are a lot faster and you squish a lot less bees. If you checked out my How to Overwinter a Beehive video, you heard me mention about this insulated inner cover, or may have seen this outer cover on one of my hives. I decided to try these out this year because you need insulation inside your outer cover. Now, first I tried that 1-inch piece of foam that everyone says to use, but the bees were chewing it up. So I decided to get a couple of these because I love it when you can buy something and you don't have to keep buying more every single year. This is heavy duty, compatible with 8 and 10 frame hives. It has the cap in here, so you can just use this as a piece of insulation underneath your outer cover, or you can open the cap and use this as insulated inner cover. If you don't want this upper entrance, then you flip the foam around as I have now, so it's blocked off. It is good to have insulation in your hive, not only in extreme cold, but also in the very hot times of the year. You can buy it as a duo on some websites, or you can buy just one or the other. But this is also by Be Smart, and it is called the Ultimate Hive Cover. This is plastic. It does have dead air zones, so it does help insulate the hive, but the insulation is really on the inner cover. This lid is very sturdy. They actually even recommend on their website, which I love. This is one of my favorite things about the lid, is how strong it is. It will outlast your wooden lids with the galvanized metal, and it is so strong you could flip it over like this, and when you're checking your bees, you can put your box on top of this, and it has the drip edge, which will help keep your wooden boxes lasting a little bit longer. I bought a different style lid while also buying this and my insulated inner cover, and I put a hole in it the first day I put it outside. I'm very good at breaking things without even trying, and I have to say that this lid looks like it will, I don't think I'm going to be able to break this thing, and it'll last a really long time. I'm sure you don't like treating for Varroa mites, because who does? I used this ez-dribbler this year, and I have to say that it is incredibly helpful. It's really simple, you know, it's like costs under $10, and it is a place that you can have your oxalic acid syrup all in, so you can do all of your hives. You just squeeze it so that the syrup goes all the way up to the 30, which is the maximum you're supposed to do for each box. I don't have a favorite vaporizer, so if anyone wants to recommend one, please do. The one I have, I'm not a big fan of. And then when it comes to treatments, you know, I don't like any of the treatments. Though I will say that the Formic Pro is one of my preferred treatments. I just think it does the job, and the bees seem way more just healthier and much more active once the treatment is over, more so than I will see with any of the other treatments that I have ever put into a beehive. Now, if you're looking for a fun toy to make beekeeping, you know, a little bit different, a little bit new, have fun with it, try something, then I highly recommend Beekeeping's Royal Jelly, Queen Rearing and Royal Jelly Kit. I have tried queen rearing just with using the grafting tool. I've tried a bunch of different kinds of grafting tools. I lived in Kona, the home of some of the biggest queen breeders in the world, and I learned from them, and I really hated grafting. But this kit has this box so that you can cage your queen just for a few hours, and it makes grafting a lot easier. You are going to have a much higher acceptance rate. It comes with everything you need, and even comes with a ton of queen cages. I really like these queen cages. They're much easier to get a queen into and close up before she flies out, which There is an art to getting queens in cages if you have never tried it. It also comes with these little containers if you want to try harvesting royal jelly. This smoker is in the category of because I just hate doing it. And we all have something that we really dislike about beekeeping, something that seems a little bit more of a chore. And for me, it is the smoker. There's an art to lighting a smoker so that you have a good fire going in there and it stays lit. If you are like me and you also hate using the smoker, then you might want to check out this smoker from Apiary. This uses vapor, so there is no fire. It's very easy to load up. You can see how much is in right here, and you just blow it a few times and the bees get out of the way. It works. The bees seem to stay out of the area that you put the vapor in from this smoker longer than when you use a traditional smoker. All right, now let's talk about feeding your bees. I've tried a few different supplements, and I used to think that they were good for the bees, but then I later found out that it really just prevents the syrup from spoiling so fast. But Hive Alive, if you're going to buy a supplement to add to your syrup, Hive Alive has that lemongrass oil. It does prevent a mold from growing in your feeders when you have the syrup in. But it also has the seaweed in there. They harvested in Ireland. They conducted some studies and they said there was an increase in honey production, increase in population, brood production increase, and it helps the intestinal well-being of the bees. So honestly, I just don't see why you wouldn't use something that is also supposed to help the bees when putting a supplement in your syrup. Now, Hive Alive does make fondant. They gave me some pollen patties. Oh my God. Ugh. Sent me this. This is 2.5 gallons of Easy Feed Super Syrup. So I will be trying these out in the spring and over the winter. I also want to mention that Hive Alive has a hive tool that is really nice. Super sharp, has a really nice weight to it. I highly recommend, if you were going to buy from their website, just throwing one of these hive tools in there with it. Now onto the feeders. I use a lot of the time just a glass jar with some holes poked into it. I poke the holes with one of the nails that I use to assemble frames for my beehive. But these do get rusty really fast and these jars break a lot. Now, I break stuff. I don't know. I'm clumsy. My brain's in multiple places at the same time. I have toddlers. So I will say that on top of the rust and the breaking, a downside to using these jars is that you're refilling them really quickly. So if you're getting tired of refilling your jars often, I really like this feeder. This holds a gallon, and you do have to put a gallon in here or else it will drip and leak because you need that vacuum seal filling it up all the way. But you can take the little feet off or you can put the little feet on. The reason why I like this feeder the best is because it holds a gallon of syrup, so you don't have to refill it as often as smaller enclosed jars. You can put it over the whole of your inner cover. That keeps the humidity and the hive temperature where the bees are instead of it escaping to upper boxes. It's enclosed, which means no drowning by bees, and reduces the risk of robbing, especially if you've added a supplement to your syrup. Now for my favorite product that is about $10 and one of those things that can really save your beehive is this robbing screen. This one again is from Be Smart, and this robbing screen can really save your hive if it is being intensely robbed. This robbing screen / universal entrance really takes the place of multiple products. It can be open all the way by having these 2 feet in the down position. You can pull those feet up and have it down all the way and open up the bottom so it has a reduced entrance plus mouse guard in the colder months. You can also have all of the entrances closed off and just have those ventilation holes open. But the primary reason why I recommend this product is because of what it can do to prevent a hive from collapsing due to robbing. When you think your hive is being robbed or it is going through robbing, you can put this so that you have the upper door open. You want just one of the upper doors open, and there are on the other side internal baffles. This keeps the hive odors from getting out through this upper opening. So you put this on, in the evening when there's not really any activity at the hive. And so when the bees leave in the next morning, they have to go out through this upper entrance now. So they know what to expect when they come back and they can get back in. So the house bees now know how to use this upper entrance, but robbers will have difficulty figuring it out. And that is because those internal baffles will keep the hive odors from exiting through this upper entrance that the house bees are using. They will smell the hive odors coming through the lower entrance, which is now blocked off. This can be left on for days until the pressure of robbing has subsided. Next, I have my polystyrene hive. This is from Superior Bee. It has 2-inch thick foam walls. It has an insulation value of R8. It was really easy to put together. You don't have to paint it. You don't need an insulated inner cover or insulation inside your outer cover. You don't have to worry about wrapping your beehive come winter time. It keeps the hive cooler in the warmer months and warmer in the colder months. And it's very durable. I was afraid they would chip and start to fall apart because I get really impatient when it comes to prying my boxes off and things like that. But it has really stood up pretty well. And finally, my favorite new piece of technology that I've played with is my Wi-Fi hive scale. It's, definitely not something that you need to have on a beehive, but it has been fun to see the hive's weight go up and then down throughout the seasons. It's let me know when this hive went through very intense robbing, and it let me know that it was okay and the robbing had subsided. It also let me know now that they have enough food for winter. And I would say, especially your first few years when you're not sure, a Wi-Fi hive scale can really take some of the guesswork out of beekeeping. So thanks for watching the video. Don't forget about all the coupon codes down below. And if you have something that you love, please share it with us so we can check it out. And I will see you in the next video.